¿Ya bien?
Sí. Hello, hello, welcome.
Ah, es en inglés.
Sí.
Qué detalle, ¿no? Hasta la pregunta está en inglés. Sí.
Sí.
Después que tengo que activar el chip. Tengo que activar el chip English.
Hello, hello. Welcome one more time to this episode. This is a very special episode because today I am welcoming my cousin Tomás.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. I am Tomás Martín's cousin. I'm 18 and I'm also from Argentina. And here I am with Martín to talk.
About yes. The subject that we concluded to talk about is identity.
Identity.
Why this subject came? Why do you think?
I think maybe because we've had many talks where we sensed that we both have a special care about our identity, and also maybe not in me, but I have seen in you a lot how your identity has evolved, and I have talked to you about identity before, so
Uh-huh.
maybe that is why we're talking about it today.
What is for you the importance of identity and what's the evolution of your identity and yes, what represents in your life
Well,
your identity? It's a deep
the question,
yes.
the importance of identity is everything. Identity, we are our identity. Identity is us. Without our identity, we are no one.
Uh-huh. Your story is a bit special because when you were 13, today now we are in Europe, but as you
Yes,
said, we are Argentinians. And I moved to Europe when I was already 18. I had my identity a bit developed, but you were only 13 years old.
yes.
And it's a very special moment in life when you are creating who you are. So, what was the influence, the effect of this big change when you were only 13
Yeah,
years
of
old?
course, it was a very, very big factor that shaped me because, of course, if you move to Europe when later in age, then you already have some things in your like mind, some ideas, and like stuff like that. But yeah, I moved at 13, so it was like at the beginning of my adolescence, like puberty, everything. So not only I had to start like adapting to a very different cultural place where maybe I didn't belong at
Uh-huh.
once. Also, they didn't speak my language. There were some barriers there. So not only I had like hardships to break that barrier to be myself in a different language,
Uh-huh.
but also I had to discover myself first to then expose myself to the world.
Yeah.
So uh, it wasn't easy, but it was an enriching experience because now I feel like I've shaped my identity uh, in taking into consideration not only my culture from where I'm from, Argentina, also to where I live and who I'm with, like during my life.
Yes.
Like I have friends from many different places now, so also my identity has shaped around them.
Yeah. That subject of the surroundings. What do you think is the effect and the importance of who we are surrounded by? It's yes.
Yeah,
I listen to you.
it's very important, of course. Depending on who you surround yourself with, you can either have a very positive environment to question who you are and to get to know yourself, or maybe you are surrounded by an environment where questioning life isn't really encouraged, but there's not much attention or reward going into that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I think not only my friends and also my family, of course. If you're my family, and I've been lucky to have a lot of people around me that have inspired me to know
Uh-huh.
myself.
As you say, wait, first, cheers, thank you for being here.
You too.
What happens when maybe you feel interest for something and the surroundings don't necessarily encourage that? Have you ever felt this?
Yeah, of course. Mm, it's hard because sometimes it's not really. You think the surrounding is what's blocking you or preventing you from being what you want or doing what you want, But in reality, sometimes it's just a matter of finding the right thing inside that surrounding. So maybe it's looking at stuff from a different perspective and changing how you view something that can always help you grow in the environment you're in, because sometimes you can't really change where you are.
Exactly.
So you have to change how you behave in that situation, place, whatever it is. So yeah, for example, for me, early times when I moved to Europe, I was thinking like, I don't belong here. English is not my first language. Culture, people are not like my friends in Argentina. I was thinking like, I can't be myself here. But that's when I realized that's not myself. That's my idea of ideally what would happen if I never moved. So I realized, me, Tomas Marco, I'm living in Europe right now, and that's who I am. So I need to embrace that and grow in this place where I am.
Yes, I think you mentioned something that is so important is to be aware of our identity and be aware that is one of the questions that I had was if you think like identity is something that happens to us or that we create. Are we victims of our identity or if we have the power to create it?
Oh, good question. I think it isn't one or the other. That would be a bit deterministic. I think it's both. It's like multifactorial, because of course we suffer. We suffer from who we are in a way, but also we can change who we are. So it's hard to put like a certain limit to from what point it starts we are the victims, and the other point is we change who we are. But yeah, I think obviously it's both. I think there's people that are victims of the identity, but they're victims of the identity because they don't know how to change it. So I feel like once you learn how to grow as a person and maybe not change your identity but evolve, then maybe you stop being the victim and you start being the one who's in control of yourself.
Yeah, it's as you said, change of perspective.
Yeah.
Because sometimes something that you think is a limitation, maybe if you change the way you see it, it can be something that you learn about and it can be your big click.
Yeah.
So, looking back, would you have said that you would have finished the way you are today, you being the way you are today, or you're still discovering and still figuring out?
No, I think one never ends up figuring out everything. I feel like we're in a constant evolution, change. I think even from now to 20 years, I will be a completely different person. But I think that's what's nice about life, that
Discover.
it's not linear. There's ups, downs. That's a part of growing, evolution.
And for someone who may want to change something in their identity or don't want to feel limited, what advice would you give to maybe start seeing things different way or start doing different ways? What give you a push to maybe be aware of something and change something in your identity or
Yeah.
the way the relationship you have with your identity? Some advice that you could give to someone?
Well, in my personal experience, when I had not trouble, but I was questioning my identity, my main concern was I would like to be this person. I would like to be generous, kind, liked, charismatic, like have good energy around me. And I was like, that's my dream. I dream about doing this, I dream about doing that, doing this, having the courage of being brave enough to. But then I realized that's the big idea is not far from me. The only thing that's blocking it is myself and the limits I put to myself as a person. So first I started questioning, who do I want to be, what would be my ideal self, and then once I had those questions answered clearly, I started questioning, what can I do to become this person, how can I get closer to this ideal person I want to be.
It feels like a really simple to-do list, but
Yes,
so powerful.
it is very powerful, and it sounds simple and it has some simplicity to it. The complex aspect of it is start to do it, getting the motivation and to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone and do stuff that you're not comfortable with. But once you break that barrier, you're able to do so many things you thought you would have never done, and that ends up changing you as a person. And that's part of evolving. It helps you grow.
Yeah. Wow, it was really powerful. Thank you very much. Now you have the power, the possibility to do a question to me, related or not. Before, is there anything that you would like to express or something else that you said? Maybe also this or this question or whatever that you would like to express about yourself or anything?
No, maybe thank you for bringing me to the podcast. I'm very happy. I'm very happy to have a cousin that I can talk to this about,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
and I'm very happy with the questions.
Okay, perfect. So, any question related to this or just any question?
My question: What? Let me think. Let me think. What is Martin Miller facing right now concerning his identity?
Oof. I think right now I'm these last months I've been asked, as you said, I've been asking me a lot what I want in life, where I want to be in the future, and now I am in the process of letting go what I used to be. And this, for example, this action, having a podcast, is part of what I want to be in the future. I don't know yet exactly the shape, but it's this thing of doing new things. And I'm in the middle of letting go and accepting the change, embracing the change, and in the middle of feeling that scary sensation and awkwardness because you're doing things new, you're, yes, including also other people, so it feels like weird. So I'm in the process of experiencing everything new, but enjoying it or trying to enjoy it, take a perspective of joy, of amusement,
Yeah.
but yes, of letting go the past, that part of embrace change. So I'm really happy in this moment. So
Good to
good
hear.
question, good question.
Thank you. You made better questions than me.
It's a practice, everything is about practice. Well, Tomas, Tommy, thank you so much. I
Thank
hope
you.
you had fun. I hope it
Very
was
fun.
useful in some way.
Let's do another one.
Yes, we will do because you're a deep person, so we will. Thank you very much. We can say goodbye
Thank you.
to the podcast in Spanish, in Argentina mode.
Chao. Muchas gracias por tenerme acá. Me hubiese resultado más fácil en español, pero fue un desafío hacerlo en inglés.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias también.
Nada, dos.